Steve versus Mark, managing 427-597. Counsel, these are questions of witnesses?
I will put those witnesses, yes. And 3 witnesses. I also have to set up a computer.
I think we're sitting on the wrong side.
Yeah,
I'm switching. I'm going to the right side.
that's the best side.
Support my brother.
Before we get started, folks, just a reminder, any electronic devices must be on silent while you're in the courtroom, if you would, please. Thank you.
Folks, once the trial starts, I don't want you talking, and I don't want you moving around the courtroom. And so we don't interrupt the trial, I'm not going to tell you again.
First witness the state will be calling will be retired Chief Mark Chase.
So Chief Chase to come in, please.
Right here, sir. Face the judge, raise your right hand, please.
Swear or affirm any testimony you present to me today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. Have a seat. State your name, spell your last name for the record.
My name is Mark Chase, last name C-H-A-S-E. Well,
Where were you employed during the year 2021?
in 2021, I was the police chief for the city of Claremont Police Department.
And are you currently the chief?
I am not.
And what was the duration of your tenure as chief of Claremont Police Department?
I retired as chief in July of this year, and I was first hired as the chief in January of 2017, so I was a chief during those periods.
And with regard to your law enforcement experience, have you, how long have you been in law enforcement?
I was initially certified as a New Hampshire certified police officer in 1990. I was hired by Claremont Police Department in 1990, went to the academy. I've subsequently, since 1990 and when I became chief, I've worked at Lebanon Police Department and Claremont Police Department at different durations, holding various different ranks.
Okay. And did you attend the police academy?
I did. In 1990, I attended the academy where I was first certified, yes.
And with regard to being chief of Claremont, you started when?
January of 2017.
Okay. And at that time, either prior to that or during your tenure as chief, have you had specialized training related to that?
I have, through my police career, I've attended various different training seminars and classes between computer-oriented crimes, sexual assault investigations. As I progressed in the ranks, I would attend a different sort of training, management training. In 2012, I was selected for the FBI National Academy, which was specialized training for police executives, and I've been to other trainings through the years and seminars, along with keeping my certification during the entire time.
And do you receive specialized training specific to running a police department?
Yes.
And you've received all your credentials?
Yes.
Generally speaking, your duties as chief of the Claremont Police Department involve what?
I'm the executive officer for the police department, so I handle the budget for the Claremont Police Department, as well as some of the daily operations of the Claremont Police Department, but the management of all aspects, the criminal division, patrol division, the administration within the agency, but also as at times I was the acting city manager as well, so different management jobs within the police agency in the city of Claremont.
And is part of your duties as chief overseeing officers?
Yes.
And do you have a ranking file, or do you just directly oversee all of them?
We're paramilitary, so we have different rank structures in the police department, but ultimately I'm responsible for all the police department, police officers and civilian employees for the city of Claremont Police Department, through the whole agency.
And that would include discipline and
Yes.
Training, all of that?
Yes, that's correct.
And do you oversee the dispatchers?
I do.
All right, and in April of 2021, approximately how many officers did you have?
In 2021, we had some personnel shortages at times. I don't know the exact number in April of 2021, but through the summer of 2021, we were down 4 or 5, 7 officers at different times. Our full complement of patrol officers, from my position all the way to the first hired or the least senior officer, is 25 officers. In April, I'm guessing we were probably at 20, 19, somewhere between 18 and 21, depending on when people left. I had a couple of officers that were deployed for the military, so they were gone. That's a rough. I can't give you exact numbers of April, how many exact officers were there.
And was one of those officers Joshua Wade?
Yes.
Was he an officer all through 2021?
Yes, he was.
And do you know if he's still currently an officer?
He's no longer with the City of Claremont Police Department. He works for the Sutherland County Sheriff's Office.
And at that time, were your officers wearing body cams?
Yes.
Okay. And did you have a policy regarding that?
Yes, we do.
With regard to the dispatchers, do you know about how many?
At this point, can I just interject? I want to just be clear that this is evidence that we were put on notice of via the state's role notice.
Correct. This will involve the video that was filmed on the date on it. Yes. You oversee the dispatchers, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And with regard to response lines for Claremont, do you know how many response lines the dispatchers are responsible for?
My recollection is there's 5 incoming lines. 911 in New Hampshire has a central dispatch center, and the state of New Hampshire runs that. When a 911 emergency rolls in, they figure out where the emergency is and call that dispatch center. But we have regular phone lines that go into Claremont Police Department for non-emergency, administration, and criminal division, anonymous tip line. So we have probably about 8 to 10 phone lines, but I believe 5 of them are designated as the normal Claremont Police Department number, and when someone calls that number, if someone's on it, it rolls to the next number. So it's one number, but it has like 5 or 6 lines to it.
And how many dispatchers are usually on shift?
We have a minimum of 1 working 24/7, 365. At times we have a second communication specialist that works a cover shift, so there's 2 people working the desk at times.
So during busy times, you might have more.
In theory, we try to keep it during the busy times, but it's a set schedule, yes.
And were you on duty on April 19th, 2021?
I was working as the police chief on April 19th, 2021.
And when you work as a police chief, do you also do patrol?
At times I did. That wasn't my primary focus, but if there was a call for it, if we were short of officers or there was something going on, I would often, or at times, I shouldn't say often, but at times be working and covering the road, yes.
And do you say primarily in the police department, you also leave and come back?
My primary position is at the police department as the executive officer, but I'm often in and out of the police department doing various different roles, from training officers to meetings to other things that my job makes me do, made me do.
And do you recall encountering an individual in the back pocket?
I do.
parking lot?
I do. So it was on April 19th, it was later in the afternoon, I don't have the exact time. I was returning to the Claremont Police Department. I was in a fully marked cruiser, but I wasn't in uniform. I believe I was doing testing a new officer somewhere, and I had just come back. When I pulled into the back lot to park in the space, a gentleman that I didn't know had a camera and was asking me if I had my body camera on.
And is that individual on the court today?
I believe it's a subject right here.
You believe it is or you know it?
Well, I only saw him with his mask, and I've seen YouTube and other items, but at the time he was wearing a mask and would refuse to identify him. And we've subsequently, we as in Claremont Police Department, have had contact with him, and he has a website or a YouTube channel that I've seen. But at that point, I had no idea. He was a total stranger to me.
Are you fairly certain that the individual
Yes.
sitting here is the same individual you encountered? in the
Yes.
parking lot? The defendant, at the time that you encountered him, was engaged in what operation?
He had a camera of some sort in his hand, and he wanted to know if I was wearing a body camera. I told him I wasn't. I wasn't in uniform. I was in a mask, and my goal was to get in the police department. He said once I told him who I immediately identified myself. Someone that wasn't in uniform getting out of a cruiser. I said I was Chief Chase. That piqued his interest. He said he wanted to talk to me, and I encouraged him to go to the lobby to speak to me. We had probably a 10-15 second exchange. Just go to the lobby, I'll talk to you. I didn't know what was going on, and I had just come back from the PD, to the PD, so encouraged him to go to the lobby, which he did.
Were you familiar with the defendant's live stream activities before that date?
I had some basic knowledge of it. I know there had been some, as we refer to them, some constitutional audits or some YouTube or some videos that had gone around the state. So I was familiar with that, but I was not familiar with this person or what was going on that particular day.
And at this point, have you reviewed the video that was being filmed that day?
I saw it right after it was. I didn't go to the live stream, obviously. I spoke with him, but I saw it at that time, and I have subsequently reviewed it at least twice over the last couple days.
Directing your attention to the screen, I'm going to just play just the very beginning of this.
Yes.
You recognize that area?
That's the exit or the front lobby area of the City Hall and or Claremont Police Department in this courthouse.
Okay. You recognize this area?
That's what I refer to as the back lot of the Claremont Police Department at the intersection
Yeah,
of
they got
Tremont and
kids,
Broad Street.
but look, so
Is this where you encountered the individual?
Yes, it is.
Permission to sit you on, I just can't stand.
Yes, it is.
I was over here across the street, guys, okay? Right there. And I was doing my little
The
thing.
entrance to Tremont Street?
That
And
is
so I was
Tremont
waiting for him
Street.
to come out so I could approach him and tell him to shut off his vehicle and get on the road because he's been really idling for over a half hour. That's Sergeant. Let me get his name. I don't know if you guys want to call, let him know, but
be clear, this is part of the video you have viewed?
Yes, it is. That is the video I've reviewed.
Joshua Wade.
Is that Joshua Wade's?
Yes, that is the City of Claremont's official business card that he was issued when he worked at Claremont.
And the information provided on that card includes what? Contact
It
information?
includes an email, and it also includes the phone number for the police department, and the address of the Claremont Police Department. I believe the fax, I can't remember if the fax number is on there, but yes, the number is there.
So he comes out, he walks across the street, I ask him his name and badge number, and then he says, I ask him if he's got his body cam running, and he says he doesn't have it on. Then he says it's in the vehicle. So I look in the vehicle and I don't see it in the vehicle, guys. Make sure you hit that light, guys. We're gonna go talk to the chief right now. We're gonna get this straightened out right now. I'm not leaving here until I see Wade put that body cam on, and it comes off the second he clocks out of here, guys.
And while you were viewing this, did you observe on that video any directive to the people who he was live streaming to for any action?
Up to this point, I can't say that I had. I have an interaction with him, I know that's on this, prior to what you just showed, and then after, where he talks to me directly. I'm sorry, is that your question?
Did you observe any directive for people to call the police department, to call Officer Wade?
I don't recall everything he just said in that last video, so I can't say for sure.
Over here, across the street, guys, okay? Right there. And I was doing my little thing. And so I was waiting for him to come out so I could approach him and tell him to shut off his vehicle and get on the road, because he's been literally idling for over a half hour. That's Sergeant. Let me get his name. I don't know if you guys want to call, let him know, but it's Joshua Wade. So he comes out.
Consider that a directive to call him?
It appears he's telling whoever's following his live stream at that point to call and point out those facts that he had located on his video or during his live stream, yes.
He walks across the street. I ask him his name. I don't know if that scan is too loud for you guys, but I can hardly hear it. What up, Eddie? What's going on, buddy? Had a fun time the other night? What up, Alex? Jerry Bush? I think you know what you might have to do here, bud.
Did you consider that a directive for his?
Yes, he's talking to the people that are live streaming and having some conversations with them.
I think you might have to do what you have to do.
Right.
Now, along the side along here, is that the live stream responses?
That I'm familiar with YouTube, and in watching this, I know as you continue to watch this, the live stream chat is logged on the side through Facebook. I'm sorry, through YouTube.
So
that's
in real time, as the videos are broadcasted, there's a live.
according to YouTube. Yes,
And that appears to match up to what?
it appears to match. I've watched it, and it appears he calls out people that are just making comments at the same time he's making the call outs or talking about form of communications.
I got the chief over in Manchester. Got the chief over at Claremont. Well then, if he doesn't come out, guys, you know what to do, right?
Same director, correct?
My belief is he's directing people that are following him to do something, yes, you know what to do.
Thank you, Channel 99. Spooky Press, what's up? Told him I had a bone to pick with him. You heard it anyway, guys. I just went live anyway, right when I did that.
The circle in red, and I don't know if you can see this, has a comment beside it, so I can read it to you.
I definitely cannot see that
It
from
is
here.
posted by a viewer by the name of Kurt Voldson, and the comment reads, blow up the phone number.
I've seen that comment and watching or reviewing it twice over the last couple of days, yes.
Yeah, guys, got 91 people, 67 likes. Go back one screen, hit that like, guys. Get this, yeah, I got Harmon here. Yeah, I know, Kurt. I mean, that's next, you know what I mean?
And that would be the defendant's acknowledgement of what Kurt has just put up.
It would appear so, yes.
So at some point, you come out into the lobby, is that correct? I'm gonna play that.
I did, it was probably 5 minutes from when I first saw him down back to when I came up to the lobby. I
You went
wanted-
up, your uniform on.
Well, I put a police coat on, I didn't change my entire outfit, but put a police coat on, and
Chris, that's funny. If my likes don't equal his chat numbers, he'll end up with a southern accent. Hell yeah. What's it say on that blue line? What blue line? Which one? How you doing? You the chief? Mark? How you doing?
You have a mask on, but that is you, correct?
that is definitely me.
Okay. And you are having a conversation with the person who is videoing this, which is the defendant at the table.
Correct, and the same person I spoke with in the back lot.
So I was just outside, okay, and this needs to be addressed like right now with your Sergeant Wade, okay? It's all on recording, and I've heard several stories about this already happening around town, and it needs to stop. Because I just caught it red-handed, and I'm gonna be filing a complaint. I really hope you take it seriously.
That's what you're doing right now.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna file a statement also. But what I'm saying is that he approached me, okay? He's in the course of his duties, he's working right now. Comes out of the PD, and he approaches me without a body cam. All right, that's against policy, procedure, and law.
Yep.
Okay? Never mind having to tell somebody that they're being recorded, they have to actually have it on. You cannot approach the public without having the body cam on.
Right.
I really,
You can, but it's our policy. We do have a policy. We do wear body worn cameras.
yeah, I know you do, but it's also your policy to put that on and tell the other individual that it's on. He was in no rush to come outside to tell me, am I filming? Do you understand what I'm saying? It wasn't.
Well, he didn't tell you he was filming because he didn't have his body camera.
No, what I'm saying is that he came out and told me, okay, he was asking me if I was filming and recording on the public sidewalk. And when he came out, I asked him if he had a body camera, and he said no. He said it's in the car. So I asked him, why is it on?
I don't know if you can see that orange C, but I can read the comment to you.
Yeah, I definitely still cannot see it,
It's
so.
from consent of the governed, and it is the number 603-542-9538. What phone number is that?
That is the direct line to the communication center at Claremont Dispatch Center.
Thank you.
Charging. Look, I don't wanna hear excuses, chief. Seriously, chief, I don't wanna hear excuses. I don't wanna hear the bullshit. All right, I hear from way too many officers and chiefs lately, and I'm tired of hearing it. And the public are tired of hearing it too. And you have over 150 people watching right now.
Okay.
All right, and my channel's gotten a little bit bigger. So I suggest you go tell Wade right now to go put it on his body cam and keep it on in charge for the next 12 hours of his shift. Do you understand?
I understand what my duties are what I'm going to do. I'm listening to your complaint, and
Okay.
I go take action.
I hope you do.
Right.
Because I'm gonna be watching you guys, and I'm gonna be making sure that everything is put on your body cams every time you're out there in the public. And if I get any notifications from anybody in the public, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna be filing complaints.
file a complaint.
And I'll have over 15,000 people file complaints too. and then I'll flood your police department with phone calls.
Well, this is the
I'm
first
just
time here tonight, you're telling me that.
What do you understand that to mean?
I understood it to mean that if I didn't take action or take this complaint seriously from this person, that he would have his followers, and I knew it to be a YouTube channel, or believed it to be, and he would have his followers flood the communication center, which another way is overwhelm it. Right? If something's flooded, it's usually overwhelmed, and so he's trying to drive a point to me for me to take that seriously, and I was listening to him at that point.
I need to take action.
I don't know if it's the first time, but it's my first time, and it's gonna be the last time. So I don't wanna see that again out there in the public, do you understand?
I understand what you're saying.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you have a card?
I do, you're gonna have to, I gotta go back inside to get it.
That's fine.
As you see, I
Yep,
wasn't.
and I'll send you the clip of the body cam footage, of my footage, of him not wearing
What's the
it.
channel?
I can't give you that information.
Okay, well, it has what I need to see.
I'll send you an email
Okay.
with a clip of it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Do you recall receiving a complaint?
He stayed in the lobby for a little while longer. He wrote some stuff on a statement form, which I had. He didn't identify himself, and I received the complaint, and that was my last interaction with him. After I do come back out and speak to him, give him my card, and it was 10 seconds long, maybe, not very long.
Have you been aware of other live stream or videos that the defendant has made available to his YouTube regarding Claremont?
I have. I was aware. I'm aware that there was other videos in Claremont and all around the state from his YouTube channel. Which,
you chief on October 27th, 2021?
I'm sorry.
Were you chief on October 27th, 2021?
Yes, I was.
And on October 27th, 2021, let me backtrack on this. Generally with your phones, is there a reciprocal arrangement with other police departments for coverage?
Yes, quite often if we have, the easiest example for me to explain is, because it happens quite frequently, there might be an accident on 110103 and people are driving by it. It's probably one of our busiest roads between Claremont and Newport, and we'll get a lot of 911 calls when there's an accident, or we'll get a lot of calls that call in directly to the police department. And when we get a lot of calls, if we don't answer them, they roll to another communication center. I don't know the exact number, I believe it's 5. After we don't answer our phone for 2 or 3, I think it's 5 rings, then it rolls to another communication center. So somewhere in the magic of the phone world, it is set up to do that, just similar to if you call 953, even if someone's called that number before you, it rolls to another line, and if it continues, and we no longer can accept the calls for the emergency, someone calling 9538, it rolls to generally Newport for Claremont, but it works throughout the communication centers.
And were you a rollover site for Charlestown?
Yes, it's happened at times where Charlestown and Newport will get overwhelmed with calls and it rolls to Claremont.
And generally speaking, with regard to rollover calls, is there a possibility for a dropped call?
It certainly is. It slows down any potential real life response, because now Claremont might be answering a call for Newport or Charlestown or vice versa, and now they have to get the information because and they may not be familiar with the community, so it potentially can slow down an emergency response.
So it's a way to manage it, but is it the safest way to serve the public?
No, it's not.
So having to take rollover calls from Charlestown, for instance, that would have caused a potential delayed response time.
It could, for sure, yes.
Theoretically.
Theoretically.
Thank you.
Commander, any questions?
Yes. Good afternoon, Chief.
Good afternoon.
How are you? My name's Jason Major, seeing Mr. Manchin today.
Yes.
Do you agree that Mr. Manchin has a First Amendment right to video his interactions with police?
Yes.
And his observers or viewers have a right to also be the First Amendment to make complaints if they like?
If they like, certainly, certainly.
I think we saw on the video that was played, some of the commenters were putting the phone number up themselves.
Correct.
Okay, wasn't Mr. Manchin doing it, it was actually his followers.
His voice is heard, but in watching this live stream there, I see no live comments from Mr. Manchin other than his voice and him showing the business card with the phone number.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that, at least from the police point of view, Mr. Manchin is viewed as being somewhat antagonistic to police?
Well, I watched a number of videos, I think at times he is,
Okay.
yes.
Fair to say that probably his viewers are watching his videos because they hold similar beliefs?
I can't speak for them, but that would make sense to me, yes.
It would. And so it may be that his callers would have called, or his viewers would have called regardless of what Mr. Manchin said?
Possibly, yeah.
There's no way to prove that one way or the other beyond reason. And the comments he made, one of them was, have to do what you have to do, and we don't really know what that means.
No, it's subjective to whoever he's speaking to, exactly.
It could mean file a written complaint,
Could be.
or an email.
It could be that statement, yeah.
And then those viewers may watch the other commenters and see that they're saying, hey, blow up the phones, here's the phone number. And the viewers who actually do make a call are responding to the commenters as opposed to just Mr. Manchin.
If you're speaking specifically about those comments on there, yes, but Mr. Manchin does say he's gonna flood the phone lines.
Did he in this case? I wasn't clear.
Yes, he did. His exact words are on the video, but
He didn't actually.
when he was telling me, yes.
He didn't actually flood them.
No, he did not, no.
It was viewers,
Yes.
presumably.
Well, no one flooded the phone lines in this particular case at all.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Oh, yeah, so,
In
yeah,
this
okay, I'm
particular
sorry,
case-
I'm sorry I misunderstood.
Never happened, okay. And what he told you was, I can make it happen, essentially,
That's how I perceived it,
But
as
he-
he could flood the lines.
but he didn't do it.
No.
That's all I have, thank you.
Anything else?
Yes. With regard to what you witnessed when you watched the video and the feedback that he would give the viewer comments, did it strike you that he had a certain rapport with his viewers?
It appears he's speaking directly to several of the viewers. I don't know how many live stream comments are on there, but in watching that video, that is a very, I think it's close to an hour. I only reviewed the beginning of it. I can't say how long it goes, but the live stream goes and he calls out to certain people in it, but not every one of them.
Okay.
Certainly.
But clearly there are people who have interacted with him before and they be aware that flooding a police department with calls is one of the responses that might be sought.
There's subject to speculation.
Yes, sustained.
With regard to the report, would you agree that it appears his viewers understand what reaction he's looking for?
Same objection. Sustained.
Will the report include things that, as Attorney Major pointed out, what defendant says he can make it happen, that in the case of sort of back and forth rapport with his viewers?
I didn't understand the question, I'm sorry.
We need to move on, yes. Anything else?
No.
All right, you're all set.
Thank you, Ron.
Before he leaves, Your Honor, I'd like to introduce that as exhibit one state.
Any objection?
I think it's so different from the case that we're here to talk about.
What is the relevance of?
The relevance is it's the 404B evidence that the defendant has posted numerous, and I would say hundreds of videos in which demonstrate that he both sees the phone numbers come up, he encourages it, viewer puts up, as he did in this one, blow the phone lines up, he says, yeah, you know, go ahead and do that, and that its relevance to the Charlestown arrest is that was already in place when that happened at Charlestown.
I'd still object. I mean, in this case, they admit that nothing happened with the phones. And in the Charlestown case, they're saying that because of what Mr. Hanson said, something happened with the phones. I think it's two totally different situations.
I agree. I don't think it's, relevant or admissible on the 404B. It's, separate and distinct, time period is separate and distinct. We're not
The
gonna
acts
go
are
that
similar.
far. We're not gonna go that way.
Thank you.
All right, Chief.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Serena Rowland.
Who's next? Can
Serena Rowland.
you say it louder so they can hear?
Sorry, Serena Rowland.
Serena Relihan.
Big nothing burger.
Come right up here, Ms. Relihan. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm any testimony you present today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a seat. State your name and spelling, please.
First name is Serena, Sirena. Last of Relihan, Relihan.
Were you employed with the Charlestown Police Department on October the 27th, 2021?
Yes, I was.
In what capacity?
I was employed in Charlestown as a dispatcher for police, fire, and EMS.
And is your employment with the Charlestown Police Department part-time or full-time?
It is part-time,
And how long have you been with the Charlestown?
6 years.
6 years. And you are still with the Charlestown Police
Yes, I
Department?
am.
And with regard to your position as dispatcher at Charlestown, what are your duties, entail?
Everything from any people that walk into my lobby to people that are calling on the phone, whether via non-emergency line or 911. The non-emergency line might also entail emergencies. As with our small town, people don't always think they need to call 911 when it is an emergency. And I have to assist them with their needs, whether it is to get a police officer, fire, or medical help to them. And currently we subcontract our medical help where we have to actually physically make phone calls and don't have access to our radio to tone them.
So with regard to the regular calls, you have the 911 line, correct?
Yes, we do.
And what is the local number for the Charlestown Police Department?
603-826-5747.
Okay. And I think you just testified the 826-5747, you will get both emergency and non-emergency.
Yes, I will.
calls. Okay. And your duties also include dispatching officers,
Yes, it does.
and you also dispatch fire and ambulance services. You also service the public at the window. correct?
Yes, I do.
And if you are unable to handle all the phone calls, is there a mechanism in place to
Yes.
take care of that?
Every department has another department they utilize for overflow phone calls, should the dispatcher be overwhelmed and unable to answer every call. Ours in particular get transferred up to Claremont. However, there is more of a chance the calls could be dropped. They don't get our 911 CADs for the emergency calls when they do transfer over, and it's increasing dispatch time when it does happen. So we ideally get told to try to answer in a certain amount of rings to do so and not have to utilize that system because they have their own town to take care of.
When you say the tag for the 911 calls doesn't transfer, what does
The
that mean?
CAD, sorry, the computer automated, I can't think of what the last dispatch device. It is a screen that, as long as the 911 operator pushes it, it gives us the address, the calling party's name and the phone number, as well as if they're medical EMDing it for medical purposes, it gives us on the fly updates of what is changing on that call.
That information does not transfer?
Correct.
Okay. And if your calls rotate up to, say Claremont,
Yes,
how are you notified to respond to them?
via phone.
So they will call back down?
They will call and they will ask if we received similar. As an example, I've had experience this, and I have dispatched a plane crash in which our system was overwhelmed with the influx of calls of people that witnessed it, and they also took them, and so they assisted me in getting services out, but they don't have access to dispatch my officer. They don't have access to get on my radio frequency to send them. They don't know who's on duty in my town to do so it needs to come through me.
And if all your phone lines are busy, how do you get that information back?
We wouldn't, and I honestly have never thought that far, or never thought we would have to think that far, that I wouldn't be able to answer a phone line to at least hear them say, this is Claremont, do you have this?
And was that system in place on October 27th, 2021?
Yes.
Do you have other law enforcement dispatch experience?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and where's that?
I am employed for 2.5 years full-time at the Cheshire County Sheriff's Office, in which we dispatch for the entire Cheshire County.
And you are still currently there?
Yes, I am.
And have you had any specialized training with regard to your dispatch duties?
Most of the dispatcher is trained on the job, by hands-on experience, as it's the best way for us to learn the job. I have particularly attended a course in Concord for learning the SPOTS system, State Police Online Telecommunications, through state of New Hampshire, as well as I've been trained as a certified dispatcher for training abilities through an online course provided at Cheshire County.
And were you on duty at the Charlestown Police Department on 10/27/21?
Yes, I was.
And do you remember what your shift was?
I came in at 7 a.m. and stayed until approximately 19:30, so 7:30 p.m.
And how many dispatchers were on duty?
Just one.
Is that typical for
Yes.
Charlestown?
Yes.
And how many lines were you answering on that day?
On that day, we have 5 non-emergency lines that the 5747 number will trickle down to, and we have the 911 line as well,
And you were dispatching fire and ambulance on that day?
as well as police, yes,
And again, that's typical for every day.
every day.
Do you remember how many officers were on duty?
There was only one on duty that day,
And who was that?
Chief Patrick Connors.
And you were responsible for dispatching officer calls,
Yes,
okay, and making contact with the officers if needed.
yes.
And was Chief Connors on that, was he on patrol or was he just functioning as a chief?
He was serving as a working officer that day.
Okay. And by working officer, you mean he was on patrol? and
Yes.
on call? And during your shift, did you receive any repeat calls from an individual?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And was it your assessment that the individual was a male or female on the phone?
It was a male subject.
And did the individual identify himself to you?
He did not.
And what was he requesting?
He was asking if the chief was available and if some records that he had were ready or being sent to him, and how they were going to be sent, or how he could obtain said records.
Do you remember how many calls you had?
I believe it was 3.
Was that during the morning period? Do you have a,
Yes, that's why I have, this is just my call for service. Looks like at 10:17, 11:03, and 11:52.
did you request his identity?
Yes, I did.
Is that pretty standard?
Yes, it is.
Do you usually have people refuse to provide their identification?
On occasion, and we are encouraged to tell them it's just so we have a way to get back to them should the line be disconnected, because technology does not always prevail.
But that's their right not to identify.
Correct.
And when you asked for his identity, what was his response?
He, I believe on the first call, told me he did not need to identify himself, and I advised that I could give him a voicemail or email for chief. On the second call, he advised he was the YouTube person from Wayland, which at least gave me some kind of semblance. As working part-time, I don't always know every other case going on, and I honestly did not know which records he was referring to be able to ask the chief, or if there was a different duty officer, what was going on.
And did you advise him where he could get his records?
I apologize for the hold, but like I said, I just had a call come in that I'm still working on. The best I can suggest is you can try back again to see if he's in here, or send him an email again if you're not willing to give me your information to get to him to call you back.
No, you can tell him that's Sebastian with the camera from Wayland, they'll understand who I am. He's playing games over online, okay, with emails, and I'm not playing my game. I want my records sent via email. It's
Okay, Sir, I can pass that along to him, that you're the guy with the camera from Wayland. That's the best I can do. I need to handle with the priority call I have right now.
Yep, all right, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I understand. can, but if I'm hot on emergency, this is what's going on, he's not in the PD physically.
What did you understand from that phone call?
I finally at least obtained who he was so I could request the chief when he was available from said call on what his records were. And then I did note at the end that he advised we would be receiving a lot of phone calls.
And that is your voice on,
That is
and that is, the individual you're speaking to, correct?
correct. That was the individual, I believe that was the second time I had heard from him.
And to be specific, you were present when this call was transferred to a thumb drive, correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay. I'd like to enter that.
Not objection. No objection. Submitted.
During the period of time that you were speaking with him, did he indicate how long it would take him to get to the police department?
I believe that was on the last phone call he had. He asked for all records to be ready for him. And I requested how long it would be in case, to my knowledge, I didn't know what was ready for him and what was not. And he believed he indicated about an hour and a half travel time.
And when he made these phone calls, was the chief available to talk with him?
He was not. He, I believe on the second call was on a motor vehicle stop in which I was ensuring everything was going properly there. On the other calls, I can't recall exactly what I had, but we have a daily log that indicates what was going on, which is why I had him on hold, and you don't hear my introduction of initially answering the phone for him.
So the chief was not in the police department?
No.
And following those calls, did you have occasion to come in contact with him, the individual?
To my knowledge, if the voice, everything matched to what was being said, yes.
So the individual that arrived at the police department, is that correct?
Yes.
Did it match the estimate of about an hour and a half?
I think it was just slightly over, yes.
Okay. And did you see the individual face to face?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And is the person who you made contact with in the court today?
Yes, he is. He's sitting at the table in a plaid shirt.
We'll reflect the identification.
And what did you observe about the defendant upon your initial contact?
I looked up to our dispatch window that is up to my right, and I saw a person standing there and what looked like a cell phone or video type device in his hand in the window, and began speaking with us.
And did he make a request at that time?
Yes, he did.
Okay, what did he request?
He asked for his records.
You fairly confident that the voice matched the phone?
For the best of my knowledge.
And the information he was seeking matched the
For what I had
call?
been hearing on the previous few calls, yes.
So when he made that request for his records, what did you do in response?
I still requested to identify myself, as in my training, we do not just like to hand over paperwork to individuals without identifying who they are, because we do not want someone else's records or information in someone else's hands. So I requested for his information, which he refused, and so I went back to my dispatch console to confirm with the chief I was allowed to hand out said records, as it's also typical practice sometimes to have the officer do so if I don't feel I have the authority to confirm who it is.
And to be clear, you made contact with the chief, he was out in the field.
Yes, he was, because he was the working unit that day.
And what did he advise?
He advised as long as that I could open up the record that was sitting there and confirm if, to the best of my knowledge, it looked like the same individual in a picture that was provided with said records. And if I felt comfortable enough, I could hand them to them. To the best of my knowledge, it did match, and I handed the records to the individual.
And was the defendant satisfied with just getting the records?
No, he was not.
Okay, and did he make any other requests?
He asked me to speak to the chief because he wasn't sure what he was being handed due to prior correspondence.
Did you communicate that request to the chief?
Yes, I did.
And did you communicate any other information to the chief?
I did advise that he was with the video camera in hand and recording, to my knowledge, as I was obtained during the beginning part of the conversation with the individual.
And did the chief return to the police department?
Yes, he did.
While you were waiting for him, did you hear the defendant make any other statements while he's recording, correct?
Yes, he was recording. He did ask at one point my name. I had provided my badge number, as I was not feeling comfortable at that point to provide further. I also heard him ask his viewers wanting to know what my name was, so that became a ordeal of wanting to figure that out. I then heard him say something similar to strike 3, and I didn't originally hear the wording, and I had scrolled over and asked, what did he say? He repeated strike 3. I requested what that meant, and he's like, don't worry about it, my viewers know.
So you didn't provide your name?
I did not.
Okay. Did he make any direction to camera or whoever, whatever he was doing?
Yes, it seemed like he was interacting possibly, and with my little knowledge of actually using YouTube, I know there's live chats that can be happening during them.
Why didn't you provide your name?
I didn't feel I wanted it advertised on this online forum that I don't know who's on it, and just didn't feel adequate. I'm the only person standing in that lobby until my chief was there.
You're the only person in the building?
Affirmative.
So once the chief returned to the police department, what did you observe on his arrival?
I saw him enter the lobby, in which I believe the subject walked towards the door to meet him face to face with the camera in hand. It didn't sound like a two-way conversation happening, and I heard them speaking as I was attempting to keep up with answering phones the best I could, so I did not hear much of the conversation at first.
But could you see?
I could, but my focus was on the phones that were now ringing multiple times.
From what you could see, was he continuing to record?
Yes.
Did the conversation sound agreeable or argumentative?
Argumentative.
And at this point, you mentioned that the telephones were ringing.
Yes, they were.
Okay, and was this out of the ordinary?
The volume of it, yes.
What do you mean by the volume of it?
The volume and the content of it. And I say content as when there is a big event in town, I will receive multiple phone calls, and they will tell me same brief information about said event. These were all the same brief information about the subject standing in my lobby and the encounter that was happening, as well as asking what my name was, along with name calling and various items I wish not to recall.
Not calling you by your name, right?
No.
Did Chief Connors have a conversation with you during this interaction?
Yes, he could tell, as in the lobby, you can hear our phone ringing, just enough that you can tell it was more than normal, and he could hear me answering it as well as the receiver going down. He asked for the door to be open, which is opened by a fob by us inside. He poked his head in and asked if the individual was inciting said phone calls, which him and I had the previous conversation about the telephone call you had heard, where it was mentioned, and I advised yes, that it was said that let him ring. I believe I remember hearing that, as well as he kept asking his viewers, well, I don't know if you want to know her name, you can find out. And I don't know what was going on in the chat, but my phone started ringing.
That's what you heard the defendant saying while he was in the lobby, before the chief came?
Just before.
Okay.
And then, so the chief was echoing that, and that's where I did tell him, yes, the phones were ringing. Yes, it was not any other matter than these viewers seeming to call in that I could tell. I was trying my best to keep up should have an actual emergency have come in.
And did you tell the chief that he was directing people to call?
From the best of what I could tell, yes. It seemed to line up.
What did Chief Connors do next?
What, sorry?
What did Chief Connors do next?
Chief Connors, after our conversation, went back to the lobby and informed the subject he would be under arrest.
Okay, and was the arrest effected at that point?
Yes, he was.
And during this time, did the phone calls continue?
Yes, they did.
And for the phone calls that you were able to answer, what was your understanding of what the callers were seeking?
Prior to the arrest was my name, and not like in the not like in that he didn't get the records or other such items that he had requested. After such arrest, it was everything from calling him a tyrant chief to it's an unlawful arrest to you better release him now to very colorful language tied in with it that I had to get to the point of hanging up on people or trying to transfer to voicemails because I could not keep up with the calls in case any other emergency that was happening in my town was going on.
Do you need water at this point?
I would love it. I meant to bring it in.
Witness is 31 months pregnant, so. So were you able to make phone calls out at this time?
Periodically, it was a matter of me hitting a line when it was miraculously not lit up of another call coming in. And if not, I had another person on my line, which happens occasionally if you grab a line going out, but it was more often than not.
Do you recall Claremont being able to get a hold of you about any?
I don't recall talking to Claremont.
So it was called, largely every line was busy?
Yes.
Was there anything else unusual that happened while the defendant was under arrest?
Once the subject is under arrest, we have to call a bail commissioner for them. And when I was trying to grab a line out of them, I was able to occasionally on our phone system get a call out, but I didn't trust I was gonna be able to get the call back from the bail commissioner when he was gonna tell me he's coming. So I have a dispatch cell phone and my personal cell phone, and that was my course of action. And I took it upon myself to call the Springfield, Vermont PD, Claremont PD, and others to provide those numbers, because I didn't want to miss emergency, because that was why I'm there, is to take care of the public.
And is that what you provided the bail commissioners?
Yes, I did.
So your personal line?
I did, just so we had the, I've never personally used our dispatch cell phone, because I've never needed to, and I just wanted to make sure there was a way he could get a hold of us.
And did any of the defendant's supporters show up at that time?
About halfway through the arrest, yes.
So when he's arrested, he's removed from the lobby, correct?
He was.
And where was he taken?
He was taken through the internal part of our PD down to our booking room downstairs.
Okay. So the lobby is empty, and did any individual show up at that point?
Yes, they did.
Okay, and what was the purpose of that individual?
When I asked what his need was in coming in the police station, I greeted him like I would anyone else. I don't believe he provided his name. He looked to also have some kind of recording device. I believe it was an iPad.
Object at this point, this seems irrelevant. Outside the scope of the charge.
It shows that obviously the viewers are watching, and likely to know that this is occurring.
So I saw what looked like to be an iPad device. I don't recall being told he was recording. There's a sign in my lobby that says we are recording. And he stood there and then began asking my name again, as well as where he was, what was going on, and then just simply stood there, almost antagonizing with some like comments and trying to zoom into my screens of what's going on of confidential information.
Did he have a lawyer show up?
That gentleman claimed he was a lawyer. That's the only bit of information I could obtain from him.
Did he look like this lawyer?
He did not.
As far as you know, he wasn't a lawyer, didn't provide any credentials.
Nothing was provided further than that, and I let it be as my phones were still ringing.
And so you were on duty till 7 o'clock that night?
Approximately 7:30
Do
p.m.
you know about what time the arrest occurred?
I believe it was around 1400 hours, which is 2 p.m.
And for the rest of your shift, were you able to make any calls? What was the phones like?
They were coming in as hectic as the beginning, all 5 lines ringing off the hook, including some trickling over to the 911 only line. I did have an ambulance call come in, which it was a struggle to call Golden Cross. As I mentioned previously, we need to call via phone and not dispatch via radio for them. I did receive, luckily, 1 phone call from a citizen that was also having an issue. And it became my knowledge, as I was leaving, of the subject that came into the PD, that was been trying to call us all afternoon with no luck of getting through.
So for the next 5 hours till you left your shift, the phones continued?
They did not stop once.
And are you aware of how long the phones actually did continue nonstop?
I believe it was approximately 3 days, because I had stopped up to the department to check in on my fellow dispatchers.
Have you ever, in your experience as a Charlestown dispatcher, had the volume of calls coming in?
Not for that length of time, no.
And did the volume of calls interfere with your ability to perform your official function as a dispatcher?
I believe so, yes.
I believe so, or you know so?
Yes, I will correct that, I absolutely know so. I don't wish to know what else could have happened on town that day, that maybe someone just gave up on trying to call us.
Did you encounter the defendant prior to that day?
So, uniquely enough, like I said, I dispatched for Cheshire County full-time, and I had brief knowledge of his videos, and as well as other people that do similar items online, that a video was posted, I believe, for the town of Fitzwilliam for AB Tech, and I remember taking a phone call. I'm not sure if it was directly from him, but it incited to followers that I legitimately asked them, what video are they referring to? And after my shift, I went and looked because I was curious as a dispatcher, so I can figure out if I need to be helping these people or what needs to go on, as that is my role.
So you had encountered him before?
Correct.
Same kind of mannerisms?
Yes, not nearly as many phone calls. I think it was not a live video or it was posted after, but Fitzwilliam Police Line also doesn't always bring it into us. They have a PD direct line and we're in a county dispatch center, so it's not like Charlestown is.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ryan. My name is Jason Major, and Mr. Manchin today. Just a couple questions for you. Those initial calls that we listened to,
That phone call, yes.
that was related to a 91A request, correct?
It was not said, I believe possibly the first transmission it was, but with my knowledge of that statute, yes.
It was a request for information made under the right to know law, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Objection, she has no idea what this is 911.
Just testify, she did.
To the best of my knowledge, like I said, I've heard of what they are, that's all.
Okay. You understood Mr. Manchin was there to get some records, though, that he
Correct.
requested?
Correct, I do understand the whole process to do so, besides it needs to come in a written request to our department. That's as much as I deal with those.
Okay, and you understand that department's under some obligation to provide records when the public requests it?
I would believe they are. I don't know what they are or not, are supposed to or not supposed to provide.
Okay. And in the phone call we listened to, Mr. Manchin made a comment about, you don't do X, you get a lot of phone calls. Something along those lines, correct?
Yes.
And we don't know what that means, do we? That could have been, you don't get me the records, I'm gonna keep calling.
It stated you're gonna get a lot of phone calls, and then, again, it was during his live that it said, let him ring, and the phone calls began happening.
Okay, but you don't know exactly what he was talking about when he said that.
He said a phone call, and phone calls did occur.
So you're putting them together, but that's really just a connection you made, you don't know what he meant.
That is part of my job as a dispatcher with connecting dots. That is what we do.
Same with the strike 3 comment that was made, it's a guess as to what he meant.
I didn't know. I inquired as I did not hear what he said. He said strike 3. I asked, what does that mean? He's like, it doesn't matter, my viewers know, and I let it be as my phones were ringing and I had to attend to what could have been emergencies.
You testified that the calls went on for hours after he'd been arrested?
I mean, I was on shift for at least 5 hours and they did not stop once.
All right, and by that point, his live stream is down, correct?
Correct, but there was a secondary live stream after he was released, to my knowledge, and I don't know beyond that.
Right, but in the hours after he was arrested, presumably he's going through the process of being arrested and booked and all of that, right?
Yes.
So during that time, the live stream is down, correct?
But it's still posted online, yes.
Is it? 'Cause I don't know.
Yes, it is.
That's an assumption you're making?
I know with YouTube, when you go click on it after a video has been live, it saves on that you're able to watch it again.
Right,
Because I was able to go watch it myself after it happened, because I was curious.
Immediately after or days after?
I believe I clicked on it because I had someone tell me it had happened, and that he had videoed all around the parking lot. So I had watched bits and pieces of it, but I couldn't pay attention because I was
So you're watching the video right after it happened or days later?
later on that evening, I believe, once we're fielding the phone calls.
His live stream, you agree, is down when he stops recording? Yes or no?
I would believe so. I also he did not have access to touch his cell phone when she placed him under arrest, so I'm not sure what was hit on said cell phone to stop it.
But it seems like people were calling because they wanted to at that point, right?
Objection, Your Honor, she has no idea what people are going for.
Sustained. Anything else? Thank you. Ms. Ryan, you are free to go. Stay healthy.
Thank you.
Stop standard here for suggestion.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you present today will be the truth?
Yes,
Thank you. Have a seat. State your name for the record.
it's Patrick Connors.
Were you employed with the Charlestown Police Department on 10/27/21?
Yes,
In what capacity?
as the chief of police.
How long have you been the chief of police?
Since January 1st of 2014,
And you are still currently the chief?
I am, yes.
Academy did you attend?
The 143rd, New Hampshire Police Academy.
And have you received specialized training beyond what the academy?
I have. I've attended a 3-week detective week, 6 or 7 part-time dispatchers as well.
And how many dispatchers are on duty on shift?
1,
And that's typical of 24 hours a day?
yes.
And how many officers are generally on duty?
1,
Typical 24 hours a day?
yes.
And with regard to the dispatchers, they're responsible for answering these response lines, correct?
Correct, for police, fire, and the EMS we dispatch for in Charlestown.
Okay.
We also dispatch for Ackworth, New Hampshire's police department.
Okay.
Well, their police calls, they don't have a police department right
For the phone lines coming in, how many are there? Or were there on October 27th?
now. 6,
There were 6 lines coming in. Would that include a 911 call?
yes.
Okay. Was that part of the general flow, or did you have a dedicated line?
No, it was part of the general flow at the time.
And did you have a, so part of the general flow, so the 911 would be a sort of a rollover call?
I'm sorry?
Would that be, that's in the rollover, correct? The 911 call?
Yes,
But if a 911 call comes in, you get the information regarding from 911 dispatch as far as the location and all the information?
yes.
Okay. Did you make any changes to the telephone lines after October 27th?
Yes.
And what changes did you make?
So before October 21 there, we had a system where we had the 6 lines. We have one line, you know, for instance, it's 826-5747, and then 488, 49, etc. And when somebody called in on one line, if that line was being used, it would just kick to the next line. And then if that was used, it would kick to the following line. We actually had we had to have our phone provider come in and change our configuration to our phone line so that one of those lines is now it's not included in that rollover, and it's devoted just for 911.
And that's currently in place?
It is.
In addition to the lines, did you have a reciprocal rollover to other departments?
We did, so if all of our lines were being used, 911 would kick over to the Claremont Police Department.
Would your 5747 calls also hit?
No, just the 911, just the numbers coming from 911.
You on duty on October 27th, 21?
I was.
What shift were you on?
I believe I was working just a regular day shift, 7 to 3, I believe. Or I might have been working at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And were you functioning as a working patrol officer on that day?
Yes, so we're short-staffed, so I typically will cover patrol shifts as well.
And you were doing that on that day?
I was, yes.
You're also functioning as a chief?
I was, yes.
Were there any other officers on duty?
No.
And who was your dispatcher on duty on that day?
Serena Relihan?
And in the morning of October 27th, were you out on patrol?
I was.
And did you receive any communication from Dispatcher Relihan about an individual at the police department?
At the police department? Yes.
And what was your understanding of why the individual was there?
She said that there was a male looking for records that didn't identify himself. I asked her to look inside an envelope, and if the picture inside the envelope matched the guy standing in the lobby, to just give him what he wanted, and that's it.
And were you familiar with, or did you believe you were familiar with the individual from a prior contact?
Yes.
And once you had relayed that information, did Dispatcher Relihan contact you again about the individual?
Yes.
Okay. And what did she communicate to you?
That the individual was insisting on speaking to me in person.
And did she, indicate to you that, the individual was, video recording?
Live streaming, was what she, yes.
Were you generally aware of, the individual's live stream videos at that time?
Not really. I knew that he recorded, but I wasn't familiar with the extent of live stream.
So once, the dispatcher Relihan asked you to come back to the, police department, did you return?
Yes.
Okay. And when you entered the lobby, what did you observe?
I was met by the defendant, Mark Mansion.
Okay. So the person that you met you in the lobby is in the courtroom today?
Yes, it's sitting at the defense table.
Let the record reflect that witnesses identify the defendant.
Identification of your,
Did you believe he was live streaming at that time?
No, not until he told me he was.
Okay. So was he recording?
He was.
Okay, so you could see a recording device.
He had a cell phone with like a stick, holding it up.
And did you later verify that, even though he told you he was live streaming, did you later verify that he was actually live streaming?
Yes.
Okay. And had you encountered the defendant previously?
Yes.
Okay. And briefly, under what circumstances?
There was an incident where we saw him walking around outside of Wheelan Engineering with a
subject matter relevance. It's relevant.
Just that he was familiar with the machine.
This testifies something.
In your prior encounter with the defendant, was he also videoing?
Yes.
So you were familiar with his activities?
Yes.
And after you encountered, the defendant at that prior, you are face-to-face, correct? So you can verify it was the same person?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any further contact with him?
Just over email.
And what was the email?
He was asking for some records from some public records.
Okay, so 91A request.
Correct.
So when you, setting this up, when you enter the lobby and the lobby comes in from the parking lot, correct?
Correct, yes.
Goes up to the dispatch window, correct?
Yes.
Okay. No open doors either side?
No.
So when you entered the lobby, about how far is it from the door to the window?
About 15 feet to 20 feet.
And where was the defendant at that point?
In the doorway. In the doorway to the, kind of met me as I opened the door. He was right there in the middle of the lobby.
Did you back up and enter the lobby? Did he back up?
Yes.
And did you have a conversation with him?
I did.
And what was the conversation regarding?
Well, he had a question as to what was in the envelope that I had waiting for him as far as, I don't think he was happy with what I gave him for his 91A request.
And would you say that what did you observe about his demeanor?
He was aggressive, he was agitated, he was, his voice was loud, he was confrontational.
And did he indicate to you that you were going to be listening to him?
Yes.
Okay. Did he tell you, or give any indication to you about how many people might be on his live stream?
He told me that there was about 600 people to 700 people watching live.
And while you were in the lobby talking to the defendant, was there anything else that you observed?
I could hear my phones ringing at the police station nonstop.
And what was the dispatcher answering them?
There, from what it appeared from outside the window where I was, it looked like she was struggling to keep up with phone calls coming in.
And in your experience, is that an unusual occurrence to have that many phones ringing at once?
Yes.
And what did you do when you realized there was an issue with the phones?
I excused myself in the lobby and I went into dispatch and asked what was going on.
And what did you observe when you went in?
that all the lines were lit up on the phones. I could see her phone was, all the blocks were lit up, and I could see her continuing to try to answer the phone.
So based on your interaction with dispatch, what was your understanding as to what was causing the phones to ring?
I asked her if the guy in the lobby was inciting people to call in, and she said yes.
So at that point, did you believe, based on your observations and the events occurring at that time, that the defendant was committing a crime?
I did, yes.
And what crime did you believe he was doing?
Obstructing the reporter, obstructing government administration.
And what did you do at that point?
I went back out to the lobby and told him he was under arrest for obstructing government administration.
And you believe you had probable cause for that arrest?
Yes.
And during the arrest, did he continue to make comments on that feed?
He did, yes.
And what kind of comments was he making?
He was shouting to people not to call, saying, do not call the Charlestown Police Department.
And based on your observation and experience, do you believe that was a plausible directive or just for the show?
I think it was for show.
Subjective speculation.
And based on what you observed, did you believe that the volume of calls that were being received at that time was a result of the defendant's live stream and at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
Same objection.
Did that volume of calls interfere with Dispatcher Relahans to perform her official function as dispatcher?
Yes.
Once you had arrested him, the defendant, what did you do with the defendant?
Brought him downstairs to our booking room.
Okay. And was he eventually processed and bailed?
Yes.
And during the time that the defendant was in the police station down the booking room, what did you observe with the phones?
The phones continued to ring off the hook, jamming our lines.
And did you observe any other individuals show up? In the lobby?
There was a gentleman that did come to the lobby and said that he was Mr. Manchon's attorney.
Was he also recording?
He was recording as well, yes.
And for the calls that you heard answered, what types of calls did they appear to be? Were they legitimate, like 747 calls or something else?
They were not legitimate calls. They were followers or people from this live stream that continued to call in and basically abusive language towards the dispatcher.
That's the question, yeah.
The calls that were answered, what type of calls do you know they were?
The foundation, establish how he knows what's called. You have to establish foundation, he wasn't taking the call.
Were you dispatched for any of those calls?
No.
Would that indicate to you that none of those calls were for service then?
Yes.
Did you conduct a further investigation after that?
I did.
Okay. And are you familiar with the live stream videos posted on a YouTube site called Press New Hampshire Now?
Yes.
Press NH. And have you personally viewed videos on them?
Yes.
And have you been the subject of some videos?
I have, yes.
And has your police department or others been subject to being posted on that site as well?
Yes.
For the ones that you know, that you personally were in, who was recording those videos?
Mr. Manchon.
And that's because you actually saw?
Yes.
And you are familiar with the defendant's voice by in-person contact with him?
Yes.
Okay. And you're confident that the defendant's voice that you've heard in person is the same voice that narrates those videos?
Yes.
Have you personally viewed two live stream videos done on October 27th, 2021?
Yes.
Okay, and how did you access those?
On the YouTube channel, the YouTube website and the channel Press NH Now.
And one of the videos is the live stream video leading up to his arrest, correct?
Yes.
And you are on that, correct?
Yes.
And you viewed that after the arrest, and at some point, while you're aware of it, while that it was up on that site, not during the live stream, correct, but it was still up on the site?
I learned that you could click on a video and watch it after it happened, even after, so it's not live anymore, but you can watch it afterwards.
I'm gonna show you a video which is identified as State's Exhibit 2, yeah, entitled on the YouTube site, Tyrant Chief Violates Public Records Law. Have you watched that video?
I have.
Okay. Is that the beginning of that video, to your recollection?
Yes.
Okay. And is that, to your recollection and to your personal knowledge, done on October 27th, 2021?
Yes.
Okay. Can you identify where that is?
That's Main Street in Charlestown.
That's Main Street in Charlestown, and where's the police department in relation to that?
About an eighth of a mile north.
Okay. So looking up the sidewalk?
You're looking north from here on the, you're on the east side sidewalk of Main Street looking north.
What up, everyone? Press NH now. What's going on? Smash a like on the way in, guys. I appreciate it. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in here, and then we're gonna get going. What up, David? What up, Sailor? All the way from Iceland. Good to see you. Appreciate the support from so far. What up, Bonsai? Hardy, Daniel, Roger, Larry, Charlie, what's up? From the UK. Thank you, James, appreciate it. What up, Kingsman? Kevin, Taz, Jeff, Sean, Auditor, Montana, good to see you, man. What up, Brian? Good to see you too, man. Ah, nice, Cam. See you, man. Let's go, Brendan. What up, Amber? What's going on? I may fix the, I am Danny. I may cut you off for a second, guys, as you're coming in. Smash a like on the way in here. The video's really slow right now. I mean, if you're good enough with it the way it looks now, hit a 1. If you want me to throw you into Buffville for about 30 seconds and fix it, let me know, hit a 2. So if it's good and it's not moving too slow for you, I can fix the resolution. I just want to make sure before I get this going. I'm getting a lot of 1s, so it may be a little slow, but there's not great service out there, so I got to put the resolution down. All right, I'm going to keep it at where it's at right now. I'm going to get to it. Keep smashing that like on the way in, man. I appreciate all your support, guys. We're going to be going over to this police department to go pick up some records. If you look at the thumbnail, you'll understand a little bit more. And then if you look at the description, all links are included, guys. I'm probably going to need your help here.
And what the defendant says, you've seen this on the computer, correct?
I have, yes.
And what are the links that are included underneath that?
It's the phone number and contact information for the Charlestown Police Department.
With what I'm doing, the police chief is playing hard to get with these records, and it's really pissing me off. He's not sending them to my email. He wants to know who I am, where I'm from, my PO box, or my address, my number. I mean, he wants all the information. He doesn't know who he wants to send this to, or if it's getting to the right person. All the bullshit excuses, guys, that you always hear. So now I had to drive almost 2 hours away to go and get these records, because I'm just as stubborn, and I didn't want to wait anymore. I do have the video coming up regarding these records, and police chief over here in Charlestown. I'm in Charlestown, New Hampshire, and I went over to do an audit in the area that you will see tomorrow at 11 o'clock, hopefully. It's going to be a lot of editing. I got a long day ahead of me, and I also got to go up tomorrow. I got a few places I want to hit up. So everything's in the description, guys. If you do want to make your agreement with the police chief and or the police department regarding the records, we'll see how it goes. They may even try to charge me for these records, which is total bullshit. I'm not going to deal with that either. What up, Becky? So here we are. We're over here at the Charlestown Police Department. There's one vehicle. I think the chief is actually working, usually working at 6, the midnight shift. And today, he is here.
So you can identify that building?
Yes, that's the Charlestown Police Department.
Okay. Is that your vehicle?
No,
Okay. Whose vehicle was that?
that's Serena Rowland's.
On calls. So they may be even short-staffed. It is a small town, not too far from Claremont. Those assholes over there don't like to put on their body cams. There's a video on my playlist if you want to go check that out. Talk to the chief in that one too. So this is, I'm assuming, the chief's car, possibly. Let's take a look inside. It's got a
Military veteran snowboards.
Get paid.
I think I just saw him not too far from here. We'll do a perimeter check of the police department. What up, Lewis? So I don't see any fences, gates, or signs. Completely open to the public. If you look at the trespassing statute, you'll see it's pretty defined in there for those 3 things. What up, Rob? Good to see all you guys. Let's get that. Let's get those likes up before I head in. Hopefully they don't give me too much of a hard time, but this chief is making me drive 2 hours to get these records and refusing to. He said that in the statute for RSA 91-A says, nothing in there says that he has to send an email. That is false. If you look at the description, in the description you'll see the link to that statute for FOIA request, and it actually does state that you can, and that if it's an option. And also, guys, it also has to do with your privacy. If you don't want to give your information, it also says that in the statute. Go take a look at it. You'll get a better understanding of the law for public records. I try to do as much as I can for you guys. It's pretty interesting. If you need to pull records, you'll understand the law a little bit better than these fools over here at the police department. But it doesn't surprise me. He didn't de-escalate the situation over there at the place I audited. Let's take a look down here real quick. Thank you, Winston. Good to see you, man. I'm just paying attention to my surroundings as of right now. I'm not really looking at comments too much, but I'm going back and forth. So if I didn't say what up, what up? I have not contacted the same manager. I think this is a town manager, but I'm just throwing at me everywhere I turn. I mean, if he wants my information that bad, then I'm sure you can figure it out. Or maybe he's just too stupid and lazy to make a few calls around the state regarding me. I don't know. So we're gonna see what they do, see what they say. He may even be the only one on today. Make sure you get those records so they'll go to them. Yep, exactly, Kingman, exactly, you're reading my mind. If there's a hard time over here, I'll go to the town manager. So we're gonna go inside, guys.
Is that the police department with Claudia?
It is, yes.
Can I help you?
Hi,
Hi.
I'm here to pick up some records.
Okay, your name?
I didn't get that. Oh, it's right here. It says right here.
Okay,
Yeah, I just need my records, please, from the chief that left it here.
okay.
That's it.
Alright, hold on.
Yeah, already got here with the radio, huh? That was quick. It's gonna be a new record. Yeah, guys, let's get that up to 200 likes. Yeah, when they ask you, can I help you, they don't really mean that. It's a fluke. Where is the chief anyway? Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Hiding somewhere in the woods, parking lot or something?
No.
Hmm.
Why are you recording?
What do you mean? You're recording, aren't you? There you are. This is right here, security notice. Activities on the premises appear in audio and video recording. Yeah, do you mind shutting that off then? Okay. You don't have the authority to tell me to. Geez, you striking out, huh? What is this entailing? What records?
I have no idea.
Well, I'd like to speak with him because he didn't even contact me about what records I'm picking up. And where's my audio recorder?
I can request for him to come here.
Please do.
Have a seat.
I'll stand, thank you.
Do that again.
Yeah, strike three, huh? Huh? Strike three? I'm sorry, my viewers understand. What's your name? What's your name? That's not your name. That's your ID number. What's your name? You gonna refuse to give me your name? I don't know, guys. Seriously, right, Flex? Yeah, sit in the corner. Maybe they have a milk crate. Yeah, I might just have to pull her records too. What a church. Hey, Spooky. Oh. I don't know, guys. You want to figure out her name? You could ask if you'd like. Everything's in the description for you. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it.
Where do you take that directed to me?
For the viewers to call in and ask her what her name is.
Yeah, he has no foundation for the
This is part of the investigation, correct?
Watching the video? Yes.
See how that changes his name.
Load up. Karen, is that it? Oh, there it is. Listen to this, hey guys.
Copy on the phone.
You can see her talk at the same time, it's hilarious. Asking me who that is, where do I send it? Unbelievable, guys. Yeah, I don't know, Cam. I think they need to learn about public record laws.
Would you look at the fourth one up? I don't know if you can see that.
I
You
can't see that
KM.
far. Can I go over and look? Or just read it?
It's posted by your KM. It's on the two initials. It says, let's hear those phone rings. Respondents, direct response at that point was, yeah, KM, I think they need to learn about public records laws. Hear them ring, guys. Is that part of your investigation?
Yes.
Did you have, when you did that, did you have the belief that he was inciting people to call at that point?
Yes.
I don't know, hear him ring, guys. She don't look too busy over there. What's she looking at anyway? No, she called over the radio to the chief.
There's another posting by, 6 up. Spooky Press on Fire. Listing your name and the phone number of 603-826-5747. What number is that?
That's the police station.
What's your direct number? It is, isn't it? Yeah. No, they were asking, that's all. They may have some questions for you guys. Guys, if you have any questions, you can, what is it, 401? 400? You can ask dispatch 401, or whatever the hell it is, what her name is. Maybe she'll let you know after the...
Part of your investigation, did you take that to be a directive to call the police department?
Yes.
100th ring, maybe? That's okay. You guys do not have to call. Oh, there it is, Winston. Thank you, buddy. The public has some questions.
Well, the defendant says, there it is, Winston. If you look from the fourth one down, it's Winston Fitzroy. It says the Charlestown Police Department, 603-826-5747. Do you believe the defendant was responding to that call, that comment?
Objection.
Not in this one.
I believe that he was responding to Winston's comment of posting the phone number.
Concerns, and I think they want to ask you. Poor girl, it's only her too. I don't know, I'm just curious to see what her name is. I'm sure you guys are too.
Do you have an
They're gonna learn today, guys. Let me tell you.
Financing plans to fit your budget.
And again, when you heard that comment and the defendant says, and you're gonna learn today, guys, what did you take that to mean? They were gonna make an immediate response?
The objection is sustained. It doesn't really matter what the objection is.
Aspen Dental.
Where's my communications? Where's my radio? Where's my audio? Where's all my pitches? Look at guys. He literally printed them out. But I also asked for any radio communications. So. Oh, is it Lisa? Dispatch Lisa Perry? Is that your name, Lisa? It is not Lisa. So this dispatch is not named Lisa. Oh, look at that. They have all my information, but they wouldn't email this to me. Huh, violating public records laws, huh? RSA 91A. You guys are gonna learn today, aren't you? Making me drive 2 hours to get these records when you could have emailed them? Incredible, guys. See, they just want to make it difficult. They wanted to come see me again. Yeah, he actually, I wonder if there's any video on his phone. He didn't even respond to my email. All he did was say, literally, where can I send it? I don't know who this is. I take public records requests very seriously, but I'll make you drive 2 hours away to get them now. And there's nothing in the RSA 91A that says I have to email them to you. Wrong. You're wrong. He's wrong. And your name is also public record. So what is your name? No, you're wrong. Now I'm gonna pull your salary too. I'm gonna make that public. Hope you enjoy. I won't leave here till either she leaves or she gives me her name. That's the deal. Where's Chief Connors? I don't see Chief Connors. Is that her vehicle? Subaru? Yeah, the email he sent me said, I need your name, your address. Come to find out, it's on the report. And it's on the envelope. My full name. They already know who I am. I never gave it to them, which is fine.
Excuse me.
But they know all my information. They know where it goes. They're not busy enough here anyway in Charlestown. I was in town for almost 45 minutes and didn't even hear dispatch go off, so. So you guys, you do not call. Oh, there's Chief Connors. Here he is. Tire Patrol. What's going on, Connors? So you do know who I am after all, huh?
I found out, yeah.
Yeah, you found out, but why did you make me drive here 2 hours for papers?
That's what you wanted.
I want radio communications, I asked for
I
too.
don't have that.
You have zero radio
I have nothing
communications.
else for you except for that.
You didn't say anything on dispatch regarding that call.
Listen, I have nothing else to show you.
You know what's funny, Chief Connors?
If you want anything else.
Call number, hold on, Chief. You're gonna listen, okay? Call number 21-5969. You said you weren't dispatched out there. Second, where is my audio?
Read it.
I don't wanna read it. You didn't even tell me what I was coming here to get.
That's what you asked for.
No, I did not. I asked for a lot.
I'm not going back and forth.
No. We are gonna go back and forth. You're gonna sit here and listen to what I have to say, and 1,000 other people are gonna tell you exactly what to say.
So listen to me.
No, I'm not gonna listen to you, Chief.
Okay, so
I asked you for certain records, okay? You responded with, what is your name? Where do I send it to? I take emails very seriously for FOIA requests, which is bullshit, okay? Because you made me drive out here for two hours to drive out here to get public record that you could email, that says it in the statute, okay? That you can and will email it when I ask.
Why did you excuse yourself at that point?
All I could hear was the phones ringing and my dispatcher trying to keep up with phones.
That's the event you testified to earlier.
Yes.
I
I did not incite it. I told him, do not call. No, I did not. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it.
Did you hear him say that?
I said, do not call. Look at my video. You're live. 600 people watching. 700 people.
Well, you're gonna get arrested for.
Oh, am I really? Yeah, you better do your investigation and watch a live stream, Connors. You got 700 people. No, I will not stop, Connors. Are you detaining me?
I am.
I'm under arrest.
You're under arrest.
For what?
For obstructing the
I am not doing that. I am not making those phone calls. I am not making those phone calls.
Turn around.
Guys, do not call Charlestown.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm not resisting, guys.
Do not
I'm being
resist.
under arrest, guys. Do not call Charlestown Police Department. I did not incite these phone calls. I said, do not call Charlestown Police Department. I said, if you have any questions or grievances, you can call dispatch on your own.
Good.
I never told them. You hear this? Guys, do not call. I do not consent to any searches or seizures of my property.
You're under arrest, so I'm searching you consent.
I do not consent to any searches or seizures of my property. Guys, do not call the Charlestown Police Department regarding my unlawful arrest and detainment.
Stay right here.
I come from a generation where we didn't have reproductive liberty. I've been involved in this issue my entire
Is that true and after a copy of the video that you viewed in your investigation?
Head off in the courtroom.
Yes.
And with regard to the thumb drive on which the video is recorded, in which the state will be requested to submit, did you personally copy that?
Yes.
And you verify that that was a true and accurate copy?
Yes.
And based on your further investigation after your initial arrest, did you believe that the defendant's actions continue to support the charges that you pressed?
Yes.
Okay. And he has two pending charges against him. What charges do you currently believe are valid?
Disorderly conduct and obstruction of government administration.
Okay. And you believe you had probable cause to arrest him on both?
Yes.
All right. So after the defendant was bailed and released, did you become aware of a second video?
Yes.
Okay. And was that recorded at the same time? Or the same day, correct?
Yes.
And what specifically did you observe during the second live stream video?
Mr. Manchin was outside on the sidewalk, kind of in front of the fire station, pacing back and forth, essentially requesting.
So Jack, you're talking about post conduct? He was arrested for what happened in the station, not something that happened after. Is this post conduct?
It is post conduct, but it is, given that the phone continued to ring, is further incitement of that.
That's not what he was arrested.
It's beyond the charges. For other charges, they should have been brought, but you can't bring in things that you did afterwards.
So following defendant's arrest and release on 10/27, what happened with the 19 phone calls?
Phone calls continued, jamming our phone lines for approximately 3 days.
Non-stop?
Non-stop.
When you say jamming, what do you mean?
I mean, that with that rollover going from line 1 through 6, most of the day, most of those periods of time, we did get a break in the middle of the night. Phones still rang, but not like they did during the day, where all 6 lines would be jammed.
And that was 3 days?
Correct.
Are you still getting phone calls?
Yes.
Are you still getting phone calls referencing the defendant?
Yes.
Videos? Are you personally personally aware of any emergency or 911 services that were interrupted?
Specifically, yes, too.
And was that an interruption because of the phone lines being jammed?
Yes,
And you have had direct knowledge of those?
yes,
Okay, and 911 services?
yes.
So when the rollover to Claremont PD is utilized, Claremont picks up the calls, correct?
Yes,
And generally with a rollover, is there a potential for drop calls?
yes,
And is there a potential increase in response time?
yes.
And why is that?
Because it's now being dispatched, instead of directly to us, it's going to another agency that then has to get a hold of us and then relay the information. So from the time it takes the original call, to the time then we now get the information from Claremont, it's the same. You know, it's that time frame, basically making the call twice.
So, does that make a big difference on an emergency call?
Yes,
As far as public safety?
yes,
Do you think that the rollover generally is an adequate way to manage service to the public?
no, it's not a good way to manage the public.
Okay. Do you think it increases the risk to the public and to those people who are seeking service?
Yes,
And were there other communications that you received as a result of this YouTube activity?
yes, I've got emails and faxes.
Request that the exhibit, the full video be admitted. So you received emails and faxes?
Yes,
And you didn't charge for any of that activity?
no,
Okay. And in your investigation, did you become aware of active bail conditions on the defendant?
yes, he was on bail conditions from Epping, New Hampshire Police Department.
Okay, did that cause you to make contact with the Epping PD?
Yes,
And what was your understanding based on Epping PD as far as the conduct of the defendant?
he was arrested for trespassing. He was on bail conditions at the time of our incident.
Did they have the same experience within the rule of calls?
They did, yes.
Object.
Did you view the Claremont PD and the Epping videos?
Yes,
Did you view about the same type of activity and encouragement from the defendant?
yes,
Generally, you respect an individual's right to report in public?
yes,
Okay. And is it your purpose to infringe on the defendant's right to report?
no,
And you didn't charge him with any crime relating to the emails or other types of communications or other types of activity, correct?
correct,
Okay. Solely the safety risk posed by the massive overload of phone calls, which the defendant cited that you believe goes to the level of charging him?
yes,
And you still believe that the defendant on that day did obstruct open administration?
I do, yes,
And you still believe that the charge of disorderly conduct is also a valid and sustainable charge?
yes.
I know we've sort of gone over this, but sort of based on
Don't go
your.
over it again if you've gone over it, I've paid attention.
Afternoon, Chief. My name's Jason Major. I'm representing Mr. Manchin today. We haven't met before.
No,
So someone coming to your department, coming to be his lawyer, that wasn't me.
it was not you.
Just talking about how you respected Mr. Manchin's First Amendment rights.
Yes,
So you agree that Mr. Manchin showing up with a camera in your department to live stream or videotape what you're doing, that's a legitimate purpose?
yes,
Also agree that anyone viewing his videos, if they see something on the video they don't like about what you're doing as a police chief or as a police department, they have their own independent right to petition you, to call you, to make a complaint.
sure, but not the manner that it was done.
So they're not allowed to call you and say, hey, I have a complaint? Yes.
They are, right? They're allowed to do that.
They're allowed to call.
We watched the video.
Yes.
And I think, counsel for the state showed that there were comments along the side.
Correct.
And I think she cited 1 or 2 comments where a commenter put the department's phone number.
Yes.
And if you watch the whole thing, and I'm guessing you've watched it several times by now.
Yes.
If you look at those comments, there are actually several people that do that throughout, right?
Yes.
Multiple times people are saying, here's the phone number for the department.
Yes.
All right. And so, we don't know. There's no way to know. If people call the department because they thought Mr. Manchin was telling them, as opposed to reading one of those comments.
Well, when I watched the live stream, and that's what I took out of when he mentioned, I'm gonna need your help on this one. And then when he interacts with.
That's a guess.
When he interacts with his viewers and thanks them for posting the phone number, I think, I'm quite certain that it's him wanting them to call in and teach us a lesson.
He's got other people on that live stream saying to call him. And we don't know if any particular person responded to him versus a commenter. There's no way to know.
There isn't, but it also wouldn't have happened if he wasn't live streaming.
But he's got a legitimate purpose to live stream. You're not saying that he shouldn't have been there in the first place. I'm not saying what he did was illegal to go there and live stream. He gets to do that, right?
Sure, yes.
And his audience, they're his audience because they share similar views to him, correct?
I'd assume, yes.
All right. And so,
Objection, he has no idea what the audience is.
they're watching the video. They're watching the video, and if they have similar views to him, they don't need any encouragement to call, right? They want to do that anyway.
Was that a question? I'm sorry.
Yes. If they have an antagonistic view of police officers and police departments, as I'm sure you'd say Mr. Manchin does, they don't need a lot of encouragement. They're gonna do it anyway, right?
At that exact date and time, no, because the reason why it was all concentrated at that same time is because it was live streamed by Mr. Manchin.
So what you're saying is these people knew that Mr. Manchin was engaging in a First Amendment protected activity, and they used that as a cue to engage in their own First Amendment protected activity.
Yes, they all engaged in the
that's what I
same.
wanted to-
Yeah.
That's all I have.
But for the live stream, posted on, live streamed on that day, and the comments, and the availability of the phone number, both in the comments below, as referenced by the defendant, and by the viewers, as well as the defendant's reactions to the posting of the phone numbers. But for all that occurring, would you have received all those calls at that one time?
Nobody knows. Objection sustained. Anything else?
There you go.
Chief? Feel free to stand.
I'm sorry?
You can stay in the court. Anything else from the state?
Your Honor, the state will provide to the court in the thumb drive, which Chief has.
Excuse me.
Containing the Claremont, both Charlestown videos and the phone call. I have no way of taking those off. I do have a copy, a screen print copy, so that in there that is the screen print copy of what videos are actually on that thumb drive. Chief can verify that he is the one that actually created that, that thumb drive.
Anything else? Counsel, anything else from you?
There you go.
Stand.
Stand, please.
So, you know, when I I take from this? You are someone who expects society at large, public servants to respect your rights and to be respectful of you, and you have a right to do that. You have a right to expect that. In return, I saw you and listened to you call people fools, stupid, lazy. Be rude and disrespectful to them, while at the same time expecting that people will be respectful of you. The street does go 2 ways. I'm going to find you not guilty. The state could not prove beyond reasonable doubt the actual purpose. Fine as a granted.
Thank you. Woo! Thank you.
Good job, man. Hey, press.
Thank you, Mark.
Good job.
Well done. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good job.
Yeah, you too.
And we can wear hats in court. I don't know who said
you
that.
can wear hats.
You can absolutely wear hats in court.
Thank you, Mark.
Because you guys work for us. We don't work for you. You work for us. You're public servants. If I had it my way, you guys wouldn't get paid.
Have a good day, folks.
You should be doing this in the full, out of your heart. You're gracious of your heart. You should be doing these jobs, not doing it for money.
I missed the hat law.
Yeah, there's some. I think we should file a complaint against that guy right now. How's that sound? How's it going?
Hi.
I'd like to file a complaint against you because we're allowed to wear hats, and I think that was disruptive to the court.
In the courtroom.
I'll bring a hat next time. Actually, I'll buy a hat specifically for court now.
I knew you were going to do that.
And I don't stand for judges. I don't stand for you.
Take my hair down.
So I'd like to file a complaint. You got a complaint form?
You talk to the gentleman in there.
So you are not going to provide what public servants are supposed to do? Complaint forms? I can do a blank piece of paper. That'll be enough.
Go down the window, they give us a paper.
So you won't provide it because I'm filing a complaint against you. Sir, can I have a complaint form or just a blank piece of paper?
I don't have any here. How do you file a complaint?
Can I have can I have his supervisor, please?
Yeah, he's in the courtroom.
Okay. All right. This is the white beard guy? Okay.
He's serious business. Subpoena.
Great job, man.
We're not going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and fight somebody over a policy.
Yeah, that was disruptive to the court.
That
You guys, like, one person laughed, and you're like, the judge is going to shut down the court because someone laughed. But the hat, calling someone out with a hat is wrong.
Just
Why don't we get that guy in contempt of court?
Mark, I've worked with Ian many times. As you know, I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to fight somebody.
I'm not live.
Well, that's
I'm not
courtesy.
live.
That
Yeah.
works 98.
And it works.
Aesthetic.
It works both ways.
Yeah.
You know?
You weren't
Dude, I have
official
to-
press release.
Respect, I should-
Yeah, official. It's official. Because I made it and I went to Press University. Hey, I'd like to file a complaint against the other. I know you guys are just talking about, but
I'll talk with it then.
I want to formally write it up.
Go right down to the window, sir.
He said talk to you.
Okay.
Oh, don't put your arm around
No,
me.
I'm just.
I know, this is
Don't
kind of
worry.
weird. All right, he said go down to the window over here.
Go down to the window over here.
Yeah, file a complaint.
All right, yeah.
What's up, Ian? Hello. Hi. Can I get a complaint form, please? A complaint form?
Complaint form?
Yes, please. Someone was disruptive in court, and I want to report him.
Got you on tracking.
Goes both ways, you know what I'm saying?
That was good. That
I love how
judge
the
was awesome.
well, the judge. No, I don't think he was that great. Even though he ruled good, he was like, "This is a two-way street." No, it's a one-way street.
Yes.
You guys steal money from us and tell us what to do and arrest us wrongfully. It's a one-way street. I just want a complaint form.
I'm gonna ask where can I
Respect is earned.
I will have to
Respect is earned, that's
ask
right.
where can I get the complaint form?
Yeah, they said come over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask. So
Give it, you
I
earn
want
it.
Okay, all right. Thank you, thank you.
Surprise, surprise. Yeah, I got some good shots. Yeah. The audio comes out. It's my new mic, so I don't know. It's first time.
Oh, did you get that at Walmart for like $40?
No, I got it at Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going on. It better be good.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I do too. I'm gonna. Hey, don't worry. So I'm gonna just email you guys. All right. I'm gonna email you guys the complaint. So don't worry. I'll email it.
Like so interesting, but it takes a long time.
These people, yeah, right?
What is FAA?
Fuck around and find out. Which one?
A motor vehicle violation, you get your license suspended if you're under 20. That's bullshit.
What?
Really loud.
I'm just gonna email it to you guys.
Okay, why don't you just email it to us?
All right, can I just get his name? Because he doesn't want to talk to me.
I know who it is.
Well, I mean, I need to know to identify
You
it
can
into
take
the
my
complaint.
My name.
Well, I'm not complaining against you. I'm complaining against him. I'm complaining against him. So if I ask him, he has to identify. Okay. I love how he just ended the conversation. Can I have your name and badge number, please?
Number 3, John.
John?
Yep.
Last name?
I forget it.
He forgot his last name. You're incompetent. You're incompetent to hold your position in office. You must resign right now because you don't know your last name. You forgot. He admitted on camera. If you do not give me your name, that's going to be an additional complaint.
Let's head right on now, folks.
I need to get everybody's picture for the bail.
After you, sir.
Is that a request?
Write it, yes, sir. I'm requesting that you leave.
All right. I respectfully decline.
Let's go. Come on. Dude, the show's over.
I know.
They're a bunch of clowns.
You guys know you're all wrong. And we can record in there anytime we want.
Bang, bang. He was a good judge.
He is.
Hey guys, we're out here, we'll get a picture.
Hey, I don't give you my permission.
Hurry up, get in.
I don't give you my permission.
Oh, come on in, we're all good.
I'm sure.
We don't kill you.
You can go right in front of the tall guy.
Okay, ready? Get closer. In. Come on, nobody's got the Rona.
Come on, widescreen.
1, 2, hold them up. 3.
Hold them up.
Cheese. All
I
right.
got a FOIA request. I don't believe it.
I don't answer any questions.
Awesome. Great job, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, I think everyone showing up helped with this decision. So.
I thought he was
Definitely
going to go the
swayed
other
the
way.
judge a little bit.
At first, yeah. The judge didn't look like he really wanted to be there. That's the whole time.
It's kind of scary.
Because he knows that the next step he'll be,
He snapped at someone just for laughing. Like,
Yeah.
for a second. I think it was him. Yeah, he kind of
Yeah.
the end of it.
It was a two-tone laugh, like that.
And the guys over there on the left, they were like keyed in, and then they yelled at some other guy.
But God forbid you wear a fucking hat.
I knew the other guys.
How about this? I think your badges are offensive. Take them off next time in court. They're offensive.
They were looking for a reason to kick someone out.
I know.
They were just.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
They really were.
Well, they've told people in court before you can't move your camera around.
Was that?
Oh yeah, I know. I went through the whole.
They did it twice.
Yeah.
One was on that side, the other side. Was that Ian?
Yeah.
That was Ian. Oh my God.
It was theatrics.
I'm sorry.
Hey, can I get one? I got one in the car.
He saw all those.
You look good. Mark looks good. Look at Mark, everybody. You see this guy? Oh, I got it. Thank you. Actually, need a lighter.
He knows I respect Uncle.
Can I borrow your lungs too? Thank you.
The chief was totally through the roof when he's it's protected. Then what the fuck did you arrest him for, dummy?
He could have detained me.
Hey,
Ben does his.
I know you're not usually on camera, but
The what? She drove from Concord. Really? Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah, she took my my response, right? So I put it out there, and I don't know if you're the only one that actually responded and was like, "Oh yeah, this seems like a good case," but
Yeah.
We came from Rhode Island.
Anybody and everybody that came.
wait, you did?
Yeah.
Wait, you're Brian? Are you Brian? No, you're not
from
Brian.
Rhode Island.
Oh, okay,
You
okay.
came from Rhode Island?
Yeah, I came from.
Unbelievable.
3 hours. Yeah, he drove. Yeah.
Woonsocket, that's where Joe Rogan used to strip dance.
Right. Oh, years ago.
Yeah.
Message me. Read the comments.
Did he really though? He did.
Yeah. No, I'm not even joking, dude. He danced on stage with my ex-girlfriend.
Oh, I like Joe Rogan.
It used to be called Guys and Dolls. Is what it used to be called.
Yeah, before what it is called now.
Dolls.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
I know.
Wow.
You know what it was. I know it. Getting the chief up there, man, on a fucking dismissal.
Oh, I know. Two chiefs on the stand.
Oh, you were with Hippie too, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was down in Cape Cod.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see him sometime.
You should join the panel chat.
He was in Middleborough, and I just missed him. He was like heading down to P-Town, back down there.
Well, shout out to Hippie, Wandering Hippie.
Yeah. Boy, his videos go so long.
Did you see the police chase? Did you see my video?
No, I didn't.
Dude, the Provincetown police chased us.
Oh.
Like, cause I filed the complaint and a records request anonymously, and so he's like, oh, the supervisor that we just talked to jumped in his car as soon as we left, and he was following us, and he tried to get, like, I pulled off 4 times, and one time I stood in front of my plate, but then
I did see that. When you guys, I might have. His videos are so long, you have to catch the right spot. You know, it's like.
Yeah, I should put timestamps. Is what I really do.
Yeah.
This isn't case law. No.
You think I will if I file?
I think if you because you're found not guilty, you should press charges against them. And but then it'll set precedent because there's a case already on the book saying that
it's already a dismissal. So even if I got
Right.
charged again somewhere else, so that means my bail conditions are done, right?
Yeah, I think so. Let's go. Let's go. Who cares? You know what? I'll just say call.
At this point, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Maybe I'll say call. Maybe.
Stick with the do not.
Yeah.
4 minutes in, somebody posted the number 4 minutes into the video before
Yeah.
even winning the PD.
Right. Exactly.
So
it's bullshit. And look
Can I just say thank you, Kevin, for introducing me to this man.
Oh, Kevin did. Friggin' Kevin hooked me up. Okay. No, he's a great guy. See, I wish Kevin would have been here, but I get it. Some people are busy. Oh. I see.
You haven't met her, huh?
No, we haven't met before. No. Yes, you too. No one's really seen you on camera, too. Should I post this?
Everybody knows that everybody already.
I know everyone knows. But you're kind of like always behind them and stuff.
That's because I cropped it.
Oh, you mean in his videos? Yeah, I'd stay behind him and he like takes
Yeah,
a picture.
you're not the focus of the story anyway, so it's like, don't make it.
Just like anybody else that don't approach me, they're not either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't approach me, you don't touch me, you don't talk to me, you don't. Okay, well you're just walking by like everyone else.
Hey, did you see my video from last
You
night?
talk to me, it's gonna go. What?
Hey, did you see my video from last night?
Yeah, it does.
Dude, I caught.
You're on Wi-Fi? From Subway?
Yeah.
You're cop watching?
Dude, I don't even have I haven't had phone service for like 5 months now.
Oh, dude, you see how they brought the old chief in?
Yeah.
Why don't they bring Ludlow? Why don't they bring, I don't know, Springfield? Why don't they bring all the other departments that people, they're still getting phone calls today? He said, what are they going to charge me every day until?
But hey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're still, my lawyer was like, you're still getting phone calls today? Yup, okay. So that's like.
But the
feel bad. Poor Chili's getting slaughtered in the court system.
delete laws.
That girl Kate, man. Boy.
Oh yeah, don't even mention her. Don't feed him. Don't feed him. Hey, last night though, I posted the video, but it was I got a tire slashing on camera.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
They were stabbing the tire, and the guy took off with the knife still in the tire. It was crazy. But all right, guys, you have anything else to say about your case? Like what happened today? Just say something.
No, just the support, man. It's just, it's great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you couldn't have done it without support, honestly. Like,
you know,
if
you never know, but it does definitely help.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching.
You out of here, man?
We'll be leaving soon, but yeah. All right, guys. Peace out. Thanks for watching. I'll have this up later on tonight. Yo, man, you got a see I could bum up here?
Yeah. Free Talk Live.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that.
You all right?
Yeah, I'll take your leg. I'll borrow your lungs too.
Yeah, man. Oh, what you listening to there?
Oh, this is Free Talk Live. You never heard of them? You can call in. You can say whatever you want, man. It's free talk, free speech.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Hell yeah, that's what's up. I'll check them out.
Thanks for the sig, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.